Welcome everybody to the Bald Guy Show. This episode is going to be very exciting. It's the first for the show. I have 7 guests, 6 or 7 guests on today. But before we get on to that, today's episode is brought to you by Tyka's Creations. My mother-in-law has an online store. Everything is handmade. You guys got to check it out. TykasCreations.etsy.com. Check this out. These are handmade keychains. Pretty cool. She is so creative. Earrings. These are earrings. Look at this little cute keychain. She also has some bags. These are handbags, handmade by my mother-in-law. All right. She takes her time. She takes pride in everything she does. Look at this. This is handmade, folks. All right. So her link is going to be on. It's going to be in the description. So make sure you take a look at her store. If there's any specific colors that you like, any specific colors that you want, hit her up and she'll make it for you. All right. Before we go on and before I introduce all my guests, make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. Okay. Like I said, today's guests are, and I want to thank Phil Herman for putting this together. I got Phil, Marcelo, Debbie, Kevin, and Derek. And we are waiting for, hopefully, James, the director, will hopefully join us. If not, we'll hit him up later on. We'll have to do another one later on. Welcome, everybody. Thank you guys for showing up, for joining me. Taking the time out of your busy schedules from filming and all that stuff and joining me on this episode. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Very good. Good.
Very good.
Good.
Awesome. Real quick, before we get into what you guys are here for, I want to get to know you guys. All right. Where are you guys from? Your backgrounds. And how you guys got started in the film industry. Phil, we'll start with you.
Okay. I've been making movies since I was like 14 years old. My parents got me a video camera, one of those VHS 2-piece Toshiba. It used to have a separate compartment where you put the tapes and you would carry that. That was like 20 pounds. And then you had the camera, another 20 pounds. Started off doing fun movies just around the neighborhood. What started us to get on the roll of things, we made a movie called Hell on Earth. And it was too big for us to handle because it took about 4 years to make. It was an end of the world movie. It was like a Mad Max type of movie. And it was really elaborate. We broke into this abandoned bathhouse and we redid it as an arena of death, it was called. And then we went on an army base, which was also abandoned, and we went into old bunkers and we made jail cells and everything. And this was like a modest, like minimal budget. I mean, we spent nothing on it. And then what happened was we said, let's make a big movie. So that's when Burglar from Hell and Jacker came along, and we were introduced to Debbie D. And that's when the movie started taking off, and that was back in 1993. And been making movies ever since. I'm a retired MTA New York Transit bus driver. I did that for 35 years, and I did the movies on the side. But I never missed the beat. We were making movies for the last 30 plus years, and Debbie D's been here the longest with me. Chris Kahler, he's been with me 20 plus years, I would say. Derek, 5 years, Marcelo, 5 years, and me and Kevin, we just met, and Derek started producing a lot of my older movies the last couple of years, and I approached him on Jacker. I said, I needed a guy play Dennis, which was a long-lost friend of Debbie D's character, and he said, sure, why not? Because what worked out good is that he's about 15 minutes because we're going to film most of the movie in Philadelphia. And it worked out fine that he's going to be able to movie as a main star. And I'm also going to be in one of his movies, The Farmhouse Murders, which I was really excited about. I'm going to go over to him and we're going to film some stuff. But it's a small world. I like to keep my cast and crew movie after movie after movie. Some of them I've been working 20, 30 years. The last 5 movies I made have been the best crew I've had. I've had Marcelo, Derek, James, Debbie, Will DeVocus, he's another one, and Chris Kahler. Really tight crew. And we've been pumping out 2-3 movies a year for the last, since the pandemic. And
Okay.
I'm
And so you've been using the same folks, and do you have something reserved for each and every single one of them, or do they try out for something and then
everybody, like when I write a script, I write according to the people I know, basically. And like a lot of times when an outsider comes in, they stay. That's how it happens. We accept a stray and then he stays and then they never leave. It becomes family. Sounds like a cult, but that's the way.
The
But
family.
it's funny. Yeah, it works. You know, we have fun. We never fight. We always agree on things. I always tell them it's not about me. It's about you guys too. You know, there's no I in team, you know, and all that. And I give them, like when we do an anthology, I love doing the anthology with these guys because everybody does their thing. They come to me with their stories and everything. I come up with the wraparounds and the basic format and everything. And then they do what they do. I'm not behind them and saying, you know, do this, do that, do this, do that. I give them complete freedom. Their shorts, they include them in the movie. And then after the movie's released, they're free to do, you know, enter festivals. You know, they could do whatever they want with them. I just tell them 30 days and then you can do whatever you want. But like I said, we're a tight team and we make movie after movie. We never like say, oh, we're coming out of a movie and it's 3-4 years later. No, we say it's coming out a certain time. We may be a few weeks late, but you know, we always come out on time and we got a great reputation. All our Indigo campaigns, we every penny and more, right, Derek, is spent. Right. It's spent. You know, we get little budgets, but we try to make the best out of them. And what happens is when you work in-house, everybody's got like you got music people, you got the guys that do the promos, you got writers, the directors, everybody works together, and we try to keep it as simple as possible, and we make it work.
How many movies have you guys done together? I mean, if you're pumping 2 or 3 a year, how many have you guys done together already?
Well, Marcelo and Derek, we did I think 5 or 6. We're up to 5.
Five.
Okay.
5.
Chris Kahler, I lost count. Debbie D and I, she's in like almost all my movies. So
wow.
I've been involved in like 144, 150 movies, but my movies, I think I'm up to like 20, 30 movies. I think it is altogether. And Debbie's been in like 15 of them. You know, she's my go-to girl. She's always there. And me and Kevin are building up a reputation together.
Wow. Marcelo, how long have you been in the industry?
Since 2004.
2004?
In my country. Preferably in my country and in Argentina.
Oh, Argentino. Okay.
Yo soy uruguayo.
Oh, Uruguay. Sorry. I know that's a...
It's not the same.
It's not the same. No, I know it's not the same. I know it's not. It's like saying Cuban. My parents are Cuban. It's like saying Cuban and Puerto Ricans are the same. We're not.
Oh, no. Today we play against you.
Yes, you do. Go USA, though. Sorry.
In what? No. Go Uruguay. No problem. in Kansas, no? Or Texas? I don't know.
No, it's not in Texas. They already played in Texas. They played, I think, in Kansas. Yeah, Kansas City. I think. Yeah, in Arrowhead.
No. I started with a very light course of cinema script on the National School of Cinema, and then I tried to film what I written, no. So then I made 23 short movies. 5 of them are on Phil's movies, and I think it's the best place I can be filming with Phil, because I have all the
I think we
freedom
can get.
I want. Hola.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
Sorry.
Debbie, you were
Um,
gonna say something?
Yes.
I said, I think Jim's coming on here. Hey, Jim.
Yeah, he is. He's on. James is finally on. James, thank you for joining us, man. Thank you for joining us.
Sorry, first day of camp, everything fucked up.
I figured.
No, you're good. You're good, man. You're good. Thank you for
Hola,
joining
James.
us. Debbie, how long have you been in the film industry?
Just fixing my cords here. Oh wow, very long time. Just fixing things here. Trying to get this straight. Well, Phil started me out with the B movies. So he's the king, found his queen. I think it was in a magazine, right?
Yeah.
Magazine that Bill Arthur had put me in. And then somehow Phil knew that I was an actress, even though I was modeling. And I guess like they say, the rest is history, because we've never stopped being in contact with one another since 1993. And before that, I was mainly a singer. I mean, in high school, I did the plays and I did Glee Club, and I always got singled out to do solos in the Glee Club, which was always fun because got the whole choir behind you. I was a soprano one, at a very, very high range. So they always kind of singled me out to do solos. But I always dabble in different things in the business. It's always been a part of who I am. I don't think I could ever really outgrow it or get too old for it. I'm gonna play the grandmom roles, and Phil's gonna write it. Grandmom and grandpa.
Are you gonna sing for us today?
Not today.
No. Derek, what about you, man? How long you been on this?
I've been doing film since 2002. But what started like the kind of the blueprint for me was my dad and mom bought a VHS camcorder from Sears back in 1986. My dad would start taping Christmases and holidays, and he would teach me how to use the camera. So I would just mess around with the camera. And then in high school, took a film class, and then I went to Columbia College in Chicago, did all my film degree. But what really my film school was my first feature film in 2002, The Icing. So that's kind of what taught me how to like budget, how you have to work with your lead actors. When your lead actor can only film on a Wednesday, the location needs you on Tuesday to be there. So that was a great way to dive in and make film. So 2002 was when it started, and I just kept pushing through. And then it was great working with Phil, and Phil does give you the freedom. So anytime I take on a project, my wife's like, "You're taking on too much," but if Phil has a project for me, I never turn it down. I love working with Phil and everyone else. So it's fun. I enjoy what I do. I love it. You just got to go out with bulldog tenacity and make the best film that you have with whatever restraints you have. Not all of us have all the money with high-tech cameras so but I love doing it. So it's a great group of people.
That's awesome. Kevin, what about you, man? How long have you been doing this?
Unprofessionally since I was like 10. Very similar to Phil. I had a VHS camera. We would just shoot it on a VHS in order because we couldn't edit it otherwise. We were 10. So we'd edit it right on the VCR and just, Halloween fan films or any slasher movie. Basically, we would just remake Halloween with a different title every time we'd make a movie. And then I became a dad pretty young. I was a teenage father, so I have 3 kids now. I was married for a while, and I was just doing some blue collar work as a piano mover. My family actually owns a piano moving business in Philadelphia. Been moving pianos since 1895. So we actually advertised for Teddy Roosevelt on our first truck. We don't advertise for candidates anymore. And
No.
it was a year ago. My life kind of had a switch up. So I had to marry marriage end and crazy things go down, and I ended up with full custody of my kids. And I just thought, I always wanted. I had my dream was always to be a dad, and I got to do that. And now my kids are old enough to where I'm annoying them now instead of them annoying me. So I was like, all right, time to take a stab at what I always wanted to do and did as a kid and never got to do because I went elsewhere. Not that I would change anything, but I'm glad I found my way back to here and have started to, I wrote a really cool script with my dad last year called The Farmhouse Murders, and have been able to piece together some really big names for it. And what I'm hoping is going to be, my debut. It might be the only one I ever do. So I want it to be crazy, and I want it to be memorable. And when Phil reached out about this, I said, it's so close, and I've heard nothing but good things about Phil, and I love everybody in the crew. I'm a fan of everybody in the room, and just really looking forward to it, to my project and working with Phil and Farmhouse Murders and working with everybody on this. And just a lot of big things going on at once. So I'm excited and I'm ready to go.
That's awesome. I'm excited for you guys, and hopefully it won't be your only one. It'll be the beginning of many more to come. Chris, what about you, man? Chris?
Did the jacker get him?
Yeah.
And that's my tech guy.
Yeah.
The vocal turned
Oh,
off, maybe?
he's freezing. Okay, we'll get back to you, Chris. James, what about you,
Yep.
sir? How long have you been in the film industry? How long have you been
Started with doing anime parodies and anime music videos back in the 90s, with 2 VCRs, maybe a small video toaster sometimes. Showing things at conventions or redubbing anime and making the story far worse than it was before. And then in live action parodies, we did something called Fan Wars when the episode 1 trailer came out. We matched it shot for shot and just made everything look bad. Just put in as much bad animation as we could. Made it like fans were trying to take our theater. And the movie theater actually let us film there, which was shocking, while shows were going on. So a lot of fun with that. And then just worked my way into doing my own sci-fi thing with Merc Force, then some horror movies, Death and Beyond 1 and 2. And then, different little things here and there. Got Mercs out on Tubi, and then, started working with Phil.
Awesome.
I was trying to get you guys together years ago, but timing is everything.
That's right. Now you can't get rid of me. James is like, oh God, it's Phil.
Chris, can you hear us? Give me a thumbs up that you can hear us.
Let me see.
There's a delay. 2 thumbs
Yeah,
up.
there's a delay, but he can hear us. Okay. I don't know if we can't hear you. I don't know if you're saying anything, but we can't hear you.
Got to go put the sound on.
Oh, he wrote. All right. When you're ready, just speak up. So we're here for Jacker 3. But unfortunately, I have not been able to watch Jacker 1 and Jacker 2, but I've dug into it. 1993. We're going 30 years after the first one. Okay, before we get to Jacker 3, let's talk about Jacker 1 and Jacker 2. Okay. Talk to me about Jacker 1. The original.
Simple story. Simple story. The guy hates society. What happened was we were filming that movie Burglar from Hell. We had a little break because we ran out of money. So we were trying to earn some more money to do Burglar from Hell. This is back in 1993. We were using the video and everything, but it's still, we had a lot of makeup. We got too carried away with that. They said, well, let's not, just sit around. Let's do another movie. So I said, I got a good idea. Last night I was watching the news, and there's a whole big thing in New York. I think it was in Brooklyn about carjackings. And I said, what a great story that would be, a carjacker. So originally the script was called Carjacker, but then we slashed it down to Jacker, which sounded better. And I wrote the script in 3 days. I remember it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, we started to shoot. The whole production took 30 days. We filmed Debbie D's part. We did Burglar from Hell and Jacker at the same time. We went to Philly and we shot. It was a long day. It was like a 12, 14-hour day we shot. But we got both of those done. So that was like birds with a stone. And then in 30 days, we wrote, we shot, and we put it out. Well, before even like Burglar from Hell. And then I always wanted to do a sequel. So, but it was cool because, like I said, he was a guy who hated society and he would carjack people. He was accused of killing his living girlfriend, and the detectives, they were on his case. And the way the carjacker works is he likes to hurt the person that goes after him. And the detective that was going after him, he was hurting his friends, his sister, and all in between this, he's out there carjacking and killing people. And it always made me laugh because I have these three brothers, the Crotch brothers, and it was played by one person. And little trick photography and everything. Those are the three policemen. We had a detective and the detective's best friend, who was James, and they were on my trail. We shot most of the movie outdoors, which is a hard thing. A lot of it was in the winter, which is another hard thing. But we got the movie done, like I said, in 30 days, and it did very well. In those days, we used to do Chiller Convention and things like that. Then it took 3 years, but I wrote the sequel. It was called Jacker 2, Descent to Hell. My good friend, Barry Gaines, who was in the first one, he starred in, he said, I've been sitting behind the scenes. I want to direct. So I said, okay, I'll write it. You direct, I'll star in it. And Jacket 2 just exploded. It became like, whereas the first one was just like a psychological killer, the second one became more supernatural. So we went to hell. We were really elaborate on the special effects and everything. We got the girl from Clerks, Marilyn Gigliotti. That was like our first big star. She was in it, and that movie, that one took a little longer. That one took a few months to make, that movie. But like Kevin was saying, all these movies, they were all shot on VHS. These are like the shot on video movies, and we had to edit them on video decks. And it was like, A and B, that was it. And I remember one of the machines had a special feature called sound on sound. So this way we could put music and special effects. And to this day, they pretty much hold up for like video. And then we let it rest for 30 years. And I don't know, I had a toss-up. I said, what am I going to film? Burglar from Hell or Jacker? And I said, Burglar from Hell, we got to get people to do too much. So we said, let's do a Jacker 3. Me and Debbie went back and forth on storylines because she was in the first one, but spoiler alert, she died. I told her, I'm going to bring you back to life. And she's going to have a secret. She's going to have a secret, and she's going to be the one that is going to try to take down the Jacker. Nobody else in the world can take him down, but she's going to do it. Kevin plays a longtime friend of hers. He's a big part of the backstory of what's going on. Chris Kahler, he's a nosy news reporter, obnoxious news reporter that keeps harassing her and everything. And he plays a very big role also. I picked James Panetta because I worked with him on the previous movie Unearthed, and we also did Horror Tales, Doomsday Stories, Ice Lay on Christmas together. And I love the way James he's so meticulous on everything. On every scene he does, he goes, that was great, but let's do it again. And I'm like, Jesus. And we did a scene already for Jacker 3 because we got Butch Patrick to be in Jacker 3, which is like a dream come true. But he says, look, I'm at the Chiller Convention. if you want me, you got to come there. You have an hour. So he said, okay, we're going to kill you though. And he says, no, you're not killing me. So we went back and forth. It was nice because I had a whole conversation with him on the phone, like an hour or so. We just went back and forth. We wrote the story together with him, and I have to talk. So that was a joy. And James was right there with me, and total professional. Butch was so happy the way we operated and everything. And it just started off on the right foot for the Jacker movie. It's like an all-star cast with Jacker. We have a who's who in the indie field, like everybody has and we got we're trying to get most of the people that were in the originals to do cameos in it. It's hard. We're doing our best to do that, but it's going to be a hard project, but we're going to do it. We start filming in the fall, and hopefully a month, but it's probably going to be 1 or 2 months to shoot it. And hopefully it'll be out in January.
But why 30 years? Why or was it put in a shelf? Did you think about it, or did it just I mean, why 30 years?
You know what it is?
Was Jacker 2 originally supposed to be it?
Each one was supposed to be it.
Oh.
But what happened was they got such a cult following, and every year someone would say, I said, you know what? Who really wants to see another Jacker? Let's do different things. And, but now all of a sudden nostalgia, because Vinegar Syndrome put out Burglar from Hell, which is also 30 years old, and it did phenomenal. So then I was like, well, there's an audience. Let's do Jacker 3. And the reception so far is pretty positive to see a Jacker 3. So I said, every year for like the last 5 years, I was putting out feelers. I was like, would anybody want to see a Jacker? Would anybody want to see a Jacker? This year, everybody came. They said, start an Indigo, go, and let's do it. So I wrote the script in about a month, I think it was. Because Debbie's a big part of this one. I gave her a script, okay, everything I wrote, I showed it to her. We made a lot of changes. We changed things around. Some things I get too outrageous once in a while. So she made me tone things down and just make it more realistic, even though the Jacker movies there's a lot of supernatural overtones.
Sci-fi type.
Yeah, not even that way, but like he's evil, but there's something else in him that's driving him. He's not just crazy. So, but and Debbie told me, look, sorry, allergies. Debbie said, look, these are the characters. This makes more sense. And we did it like that.
Okay. Now, from what I read, this is going to be the conclusion. There's not going to be a Jacker 4 30 years later, right? This is it. So it's going to be a trilogy.
Back in our 80s.
So,
Yeah.
So Jacker fans, it's going to be this is the last one. I am a horror junkie. I'm a Christian, and I love horror films.
Yes.
And the scarier, the better. And the more psychological, the better.
That's what this is.
I love these kind of movies. And when I told my wife, babe, I have Phil Herman. He's a horror filmmaker. I love horror films. So that's why I said I'm gonna get Jacker 1, Jacker 2. I'm gonna get myself a DVD player or a Blu-ray.
You get them and I'll send them to you. Don't worry.
And I'm definitely gonna get it because I want to watch them because I'm looking forward to Jacker 3. Like I said, I am a horror film junkie.
Yeah.
I
It's
love
fun.
Halloween. I watch Halloween every year. Part 1 and part 2. The rest are crap, but part 1 and part 2, there's nothing like it. I love Halloween.
Yeah.
So I am a horror junkie.
That's what we grew up on. That's all our, that's our driving force. Halloween, Friday 13th, movies like that.
Yeah. So does everybody have like a major role besides Debbie? Does everybody's in the film, does everybody have a major role here? or their minor roles?
Derek, I picked him because he's an excellent filmmaker. He's going to open up the movie with a flashback, for when the Jacko was a young boy. He's gonna bring that to life. And then Marcelo, he's gonna also do a remote role, but it's gonna be an important role. I don't want to give away too much on anything, but he'll be shooting something also. I always try to incorporate everybody.
Okay. So do people need to see part 1 and part 2 in order to get part 3, or you?
It would be a good idea, because then you get the feel for the character.
I get that. That's why I want to see part 1 and part 2.
Right.
I don't like watching part 3 or part 2 or part 4 without watching. That's me personally. Even though some people do say, "Oh, you don't have to," I prefer it that way.
I plan on having a little like a recap at the beginning and the opening credits, show like little clips from the first one, and then also there'll be little clips during the movie, like with some of the characters from the previous movies. They're in it. We'll show them also.
All right. And is everything going to be filmed in the same area? And where's it going to be? Where is this taking place? In Philadelphia, you said?
In Philly and New York.
Philly and New York. Okay. All right. And it takes place where? Where does it take place?
It's supposed to be in the movie. New York. Okay. The opening is going to be shot in the actual scene where the second one ended. It's going to start off in the same area 30 years later. And I was over there to check out the area because it's an old army base and it's all overgrown with weeds and everything. And he's been dormant for 30 years. And somebody from his past brings him back to life. Not to life, but brings him back into the world. They ignite him again.
So is everybody excited about this? Or, I mean, what's the anticipation like? I mean, I gotta know what is it like? What does it feel like? Knowing that you're still waiting, even though it's right around the corner, because this year's flying by, but knowing that you still have to wait a few months before you start filming. What's the anticipation like?
I'm stoked. I'm glad to be part of this trilogy and everything. So, the actors that have part of it, they're excited. Some of the people, 1 or 2 of the actresses didn't know about the Jacker trilogy, so I told them that eventually they'll watch it so they can get into character. But my crew's excited. We're gonna shoot a day in October, and we're ready to do this. Yeah.
And when are we expecting the film to come out? 2025, right?
Yeah.
30 years.
30 years. Are we expecting it for Halloween time of 2025, or is it early 2025?
No, we'll probably be before that, like hopefully February, March. We're trying for that. Like that winter, kind of vibe. We'll put it out then.
Nice.
We can re-release it.
Any interesting stories? During on sets that you guys have experienced that you guys want to share? That during filming together. Any interesting stories that you guys have experienced?
Oh, where do we start?
Both of us are scheduled.
Recently, we were filming Unearthed, and I had to go down to Philly. It was funny because me and Debbie, we've been in touch for the last 30 years, but back in April when we filmed Unearthed, it's called Highway Rivalry. I said that right. It's for Unearthed. And me and Debbie haven't seen each other in 30 years. So we got to do a scene. We play I'm a driver and she's a hitchhiker, and I pick her up, and James directed us, and there's all supernatural happenings going on, but it was just great to work with her again. And it was like this time stood still, because the last time we worked together was, I think, Tales to the End.
Yes, I don't think it was quite the 30. I think, when did we do Tales to the End? Wasn't it 2002?
Was it
96? Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Oh, no, we did not. Really? Oh, that one I
I have to go to
love.
my historian. Chris, when was it?
Let me put a light on here.
Also, yeah, not a clue. I didn't start off until around midnight on the movies, so that was
Okay.
3 years after that, maybe. So 97, 98.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's all right.
I think it was before that, though. But I'm gonna look.
I think that's what I did yesterday. Like, 3 years ago.
So many
Chris.
stories because good.
That shirt, is that Faces of Death? That shirt
Yes,
you have
sir.
on? Oh man.
Oh, we got
Showing
it.
my age.
I used to watch that, and that was one of the freakiest things. I used to watch it as a kid on VHS.
Didn't they all?
Oh my god, that was crazy. That was crazy. That's a cool shirt. Very cool shirt.
Thank you.
What are the stories? I love hearing these stories. What other stories do you have?
Well,
Either one of you.
These guys are
Anybody?
filmmakers. Me and James are the guerrilla filmmakers. So we got a lot of stories when, like, cause we have guns, we burn bodies, we break into places, you know, and we like it's called shoot and run. You know, during Hell on Earth, we went into the place we call Arena of Death, was an abandoned bathhouse. My friend had the bright idea of turning on the lights, and there's not supposed to be anybody in there. All of a sudden, the Parks Department came with helicopters, and they surrounded the place. They surrounded the front, and we went out the back. And then my one friend, he was doing the part, and he was on there with I forgot what it was. It was some kind of sword or something, and he's like, "Uh-oh," and he got arrested. They surrounded him with their guns drawn. They go, "What are you doing?" "I'm filming. They go, "Well, where is everybody?" We're like running on the beach, you know. Like,
So
but
you
there's
guys,
this-
I was
so
accused of
that
being a
is
terrorist
awesome.
twice.
So that's awesome. So you guys have filmed in places where you guys are not supposed to be at, and you call it shoot and run film or
run.
I kind of got it. I was accused of being a terrorist twice because I was filming near a water treatment plant. And we were doing a car scene just going up and down the road. And we stopped in a Home Depot parking lot to do the dialogue. And next thing we know, police cars surrounded us from every direction. Helicopter was over us. They had to check all our footage because they thought we were doing a camera recon to drop something in the water system. And then we had run out of battery power, and Mike Pringle went home to get the battery, and he comes walking in, doesn't see the cop cars, doesn't see the helicopter, and is holding the battery like this. And it's a giant brick. And all I hear is, "Sir, place your hands down and get back in your vehicle." And Mike was looking at me like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Mike, get back in the car." And fucked up.
oh
But yeah,
wow.
that was fun. I had a fake gun in my pocket. It was great, you know. And another time was
I
when I was
remember
on
being
the
in
L.
the park. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I was on the L and I was filming a music video for somebody. And the conductor opens the door like, "I don't know if you're a terrorist. I don't know what you're trying to do here filming." I'm like, "I got 2 rappers and their little sister here. Like, what do you think we're doing? Come on." I mean, just to get footage of the L moving to put it on a green screen background, but you know, that was boring. The first one was much funnier. Makes it by cops way better.
I think
So-
it's
Yeah, I
easier
do.
now
Uh-huh.
because everybody has a camera. I mean, everybody has a phone, and people are always filming. So now it's nothing to take out a start filming,
Yeah,
you know,
but
with your
now-
camera, but film.
It's
with
easier to
your
run
phone.
now.
Yeah.
You don't
The
have
only
that much
thing that made
equipment.
is there was a park in Delaware County I used to film at, and they didn't really care. Like, we did action movies there. I'm talking like people in full body armor, full army uniforms, M16s, all that stuff. And now I tried to like get permission to film there again. Like, "Oh, new ordinance, nobody's allowed to film here at all." And I'm like, "Really?" I've been
Everything's
annoying
permanent.
TikTok. You know.
All permanent.
You ruined it for everybody.
I was in a park one time, and we were just behind in a canoe filming and screaming, and people that were in the park called the cops, and the cops came. And here we have, for the part, we have handcuffs on our hands, and then they question each one of us individually to see if they're getting the same story. But yeah, but now I don't hear about it as much now. Like I'm saying, because everybody's filming, even if they're just filming for themselves. There's always a phone and someone filming something. So I think people are numb to it. But back in the day, boy, you knew when you had to get it and get out.
Yeah.
I remember I went down to shoot for a magazine because I was modeling for a long time. And I had my character, Destiny the Vampire Mermaid. I would always be in the magazine. I was in the magazine for 20 years across the world, actually. It's called Scary Monsters Magazine. And I always had to have new pictures. And I remember, it's a 2-hour ride to get down to the seashore from Philadelphia. So it was just perfect to get on these rocks and have Destiny against the rocks. And someone with authority of some sort came down and said, "You can't shoot here. You don't have any permits." And we just got in the car and went around the other side and started filming right behind his back. Or snapping the pictures, getting the pictures. And we ended up getting the pictures. And to this day, like, I know what magazine that those particular pictures are in. But usually you just get
It's hard to work on the cops when you're a mermaid, right?
Yeah, people want to give you a hard time. Well, you tell them, we've come down here. It took a long time to get there. Well, you should have thought of that. You should have got a permit. But, who needs it? Get out of my way. And I think that's how most of it. We wouldn't have all the things we've shot if it wasn't for running. You just have to quit, because we are the movie makers and the creative people in this world, and we need a spot, and not always do we get recognized because or given permission because they haven't seen what we've done yet. So to prove yourself, sometimes you just got to go. You just got to make it happen wherever you can, however you can, and we've all done that.
I didn't know that you needed permits to film in certain places. I figured you needed to ask for permission for certain places, but I didn't know you needed permits.
I made it easy. I got a fishing permit. So I get a fishing permit and I go park and I go, yeah, I'm going fishing, and then I film. $50 a year, and then they don't bother me.
Very good.
What are you fishing for? I'm fishing for a body.
Yeah. You go, why do you got a drone and a camera? Like, well, I'm checking out the water.
I'm one that I've been supporting independent films. I love independent films. I like to see the creativeness. Okay, I lost somebody.
Marcelo.
Yep. Let me see. There he is. Let me add him back on.
Marcella, we need to hear from you.
What? I love independent films. I've been watching a lot of independent films lately. I had recently, especially people that use the same folks over and over. Recently, I had Michael W. Green on. He's a filmmaker from here in Dallas, and he works with the same people. It's the people he trusts, just like you, Phil. And I've been ever since I've been watching for the last couple of years more and more independent films. I think it's very important that we support independent films, just like we support local business owners. We need to support independent films.
I like that. That's a good one. My thing keeps falling here. I like that.
What we have to. I mean, that's the cornerstone of our country. Is I rather support a small coffee shop than Starbucks. Nothing against Starbucks. Believe me, I love going on Starbucks especially during now that fall's right around the corner. And stuff. But I prefer going to a local coffee shop and support a small business owner than the major bigger company. You know what I mean? So same thing with the film industry. For anybody watching, make sure you check out Phil Herman's films. James, Panetta as well. Check out these guys. Go to IMDb or IMDB.com and check them out. And there's gonna be a list. I am gonna add those links for you guys, for each and every single one of you. So if you guys could send me your Facebook pages, I think I've added some of you to I sent some of you friend requests. But if you guys send me any links that you guys have, send them to me, please. So I'm gonna add it to the description so people could check you guys out and any other films you guys have done. Marcelo, what other films have you done? Have you done Spanish films? Any Spanish films, or has it been just here in America in English?
Look, I made some tricks to make movies for America. One film is mute, is only with plays written, and the other was with AI voices. Because no one here have me too the exactly accent of English, American English. I can hardly speak in English, but I'm trying. I'm doing my best now.
Well, you're doing a good job. We're understanding you, so you're doing a very good job.
And the movies are doing a great job.
Marcelo is so brilliant in his filmmaking that lately when he does the shorts for me, I let him do it in his native language.
Exactly.
And then I let him put subtitles. It's so much better than them trying to like speak English and everything, because then it's all lost in everything. I feel as a filmmaker, his brilliance and his story is told more passionate when he speaks his own native language. And that's why I agreed the last 3 times. I told him, Marcel, don't even try. I mean, he did one good one with the vampire, the silent one, where he put
my wife.
Ruta. And that worked.
Was my wife.
Right, but you can't do that every time. So I said, look, don't stress yourself. Do your own language. We put subtitles. It's so much more impact. I mean, how many of us watch movies, and we watch it with subtitles and it's not a problem? So why can't we have it for 20 minutes in a short?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was afraid because
I would prefer subtitles to a dub.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes. I was afraid because our English is not good, and when I found even one person that speaks English was an Indian guy from India, and his English was worse than mine. So I put him a mask. Then I told him, do not speak anything ever. And
There was this foreign exchange girl whose only word of English was yes. Definitely my favorite semester.
And I dubbed him with AI voice.
Well, a lot of people,
guys, my battery's gonna die. Thanks a lot. I can't wait to reconnect with everybody on Chapter 3.
Kevin,
take care,
man. God bless you, man. Thank you.
I'm good.
I've heard a lot of people using AI for a lot of stuff.
Yes.
So
now in enhancing voices, when you have a bad recording voices with too much noise, you can filter it for free in an application of Adobe.
Oh, wow.
So you have zero ¿cómo se dice? Ay.
Wind interference. Noise.
Cero ruido.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem.
Let me record and film in Spanish, and I'm very grateful for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Sorry, I talk too much.
No, that's good.
No, you're good. You're good.
We haven't heard from Chris, right?
Yeah, Chris. What
Yeah.
about you, man? What are your talk to me?
I did a feature movie.
What's your creative geniuses? What are your creative geniuses?
I did a feature movie that was all spoken in Esperanto, and I don't speak that at all. But I used the Google Translate to basically translate my script into a different language, and then played it back to double check it to make sure that the translations were correct and everything. So it's a futuristic apocalyptic movie that I shot when I was house sitting in New Mexico for 6 months, and it's like out in the mountains and desert and everything. It's like, wow, this is a great place to make a movie. So, but the only problem is I don't have a cast with me or anybody else, so I had to basically shoot the whole thing by myself. My dog is in it. My friend Claire Fluff-Llewellyn is in it, and yeah, she was not happy about having to speak in Esperanto. What is that? Oh, it's a world traveler's language that was invented like in the 19th century by a Polish professor who decided that the world would be a much smaller place if everybody could understand each other. So he came up with this Esperanto language, and a lot of it's like based like in German and Latin and stuff, and basically like base pieces of words, and did the whole movie like that. And I still haven't released it yet because it's like 3.5 hours long, and it's like that's too damn long. Nobody wants to see me walk around the desert for 3 hours. Oh, I can think of a couple of people maybe, but.
How long have you been? My original question to you that was, how long have you been doing this? Also.
Oh, again, like everybody else, I grabbed video cameras back when I was a kid. I used to do stop motion animation type stuff, and me and my buddies would make ninja movies and whatever. Again, depending on who had what costumes or whatever. Hey, we'll throw a ninja in there fighting a giant dinosaur or whatever, just because hey, this is what we had at the time. And then I didn't really get into it again till like the mid '90s maybe. And I used to be a composer. Well, I guess I still am. And I was setting music out for somebody's movie that Phil knows who it is. And it's like, yeah, I got my VHS copy in the mail. And it's like, oh, hey, my music is playing. My name is on there. And then it was like 5 minutes of the local stripper getting fake blood thrown on her fake boobs. And I was like, that's not really scary, you know? So then I got into editing. And from there, I started writing scripts and whatever. And I basically do a lot of After Effects, like post stuff for everybody now and editing. And because either you have to be able to pay everybody to do everything for you, or you learn how to do it yourself when you don't have money. So I've got a lot more time than money. So I pretty much do everything behind the camera now. And now I keep getting pushed in front of the camera to play, because I always get speed dial for bikers, bums, junkies, and Jesus type roles because of the hair and whatnot. And lately it's a lot of bad redneck dad roles I keep getting too. Where I'm always like threatening my kids for something or whatever in everybody's movies. Well, I mean, the movies' kids, not my real kids. Because I look like that guy.
You mentioned budget. How hard is the budget? How hard is budgeting? How hard is it to staying budget? How hard is it? What you know? Talk to me about that. You know, staying on budget and.
I wouldn't know. The two things that are always my problems are I can never raise budget and I can never get locations. Anything else I can do in camera, I can do in post, I can do special effects and everything, but I can't pay people money I don't have. And finding locations is always tricky somehow too. So when Phil said, hey, you want to be in Jacker 3? And I said, do I get to work with Debbie? And he said, oh, absolutely. And I was like, yes. So I've been waiting for that for 30 years, Debbie. Thank you. She's not impressed.
No, she's frozen. I think she's not even blinking. She's freaking me out. I thought she was frozen here. No, yeah, her thing is frozen. Debbie, can you hear us? Calling Debbie. 1, 2, 3. Debbie, checking. Debbie. All right. Yeah, she's frozen. I don't know if she could hear us or not. But Phil, let me ask you that. Yeah, how hard is it to stay on budget, or how do you figure out? Like, okay, yeah, she stepped out. She's probably gonna come back in now. how you figure out budgeting? How
we have a campaign. The amount of money we get, I try to distribute it to, like with the anthologies, I try to equally distribute it to the filmmakers. With a movie, that's a little bit different. Now I have a payroll now with the actors and the director and everything else, the editor and this and that. So anthologies are easier. I just, like, if there's 4 of us, I split it 4 ways. That's the way I do it. Everybody gets a piece of it, but it's never enough. It's never enough. And whatever I give them, we're doubling what we spend, out of our own pockets, pretty much. Very hard to get the money back on these movies because streaming, I showed them, we got it on Film Hub, we got it on Amazon, we got it on Tubi, and we're still making $32 for 6 months on streaming. We do these, and they make money on the campaigns, but then all of a sudden they dry up, with the DVDs. So we're looking for some kind of miracle.
Wow. Okay. So what, you do this for fun then? Because I mean, if you're not making money,
we're doing it. It's like
yes,
a working resume, I call it. Because people look at these movies and say, "Wow, look what they can do with nothing." Imagine if they gave them money. That's what we're praying for. We're praying.
Well, okay.
I try to give as much as I can to these guys, to help pay for things, but they know I don't keep any secrets or anything. They see exactly what the campaigns make, and I share it with them.
You're transparent.
We try to do the best we can with them. And I always tell them, like with the DVDs, what I pay for them, you pay for them, and you could sell them, but it's hard. Like Derek does shows, but it used to be you would go to shows and you would sell them like crazy, but no one's buying, DVDs anymore. Everybody's streaming.
Yeah, like I said, that's me, and I'm one. I'm sorry, but we do pay for Netflix, and we do pay for. So I'm ignorant. So I'm ignorant to this. So I figured if you're on Netflix and we pay for Netflix, you guys game whoever movie you guys get paid for that. If we're streaming,
Amazon is 0.0000001 cent for every hour.
So Netflix is making a killing, and they're not paying the people anything.
Netflix
is I didn't know that.
For the Hollywood movies, because the Hollywood movies, they give them MGs, they give them a minimum guarantee, they give them money, up front. Like, okay, look, we want you to make this movie for Netflix. We're giving you $20 million to make it. They're not offering us that, because we're nobody. Even though their movies are horrible, you cringe.
Some of those movies are cringe. I mean, yeah,
I agree. They keep giving them the same story, same actors. They keep giving them.
Yeah. Any thoughts of creating a sitcom or something, or a show, not like a thriller, mini series or something?
I personally never did comedy, and I never did like a show or anything.
Not comedy. I know sitcoms. I meant like a mini series, like a thriller mini series, or
too much commitment for me.
Yeah,
It's like the movies I like because we plan them. Like lately, we've been like this year we're only doing 2 movies. Well, I'm just doing 2 movies, and then it took my whole year though. For the planning and the fundraising. The fundraising, that's 2 months of your life that you're on every day, and you're like, please send money. It's hard, It's always the same people.
Yeah, it feels like you're bothering people, but I know some people, like in my crew, we I told, like, when you're promoting a film, we need to make money because it's hard. Like Chris said, sometimes I can't pay people. It's a passion project. So I tell people, advocate for yourself. I'm not going to be able to reach to your aunt and uncle, say that this is a film you're part of. We need money to make this project happen. And you'll get a lot of people do that. You have some people that for 8 months, maybe once promote it or share it. And you have to work extra hard. It's like you're hustling. You're like it's like it's a hustle. It's like it's like the Ties That Bind, which is part on Earth. Some of the money we raised from Indiegogo went toward that, and then the last 4 or 5 days, I self-produce it. I have a second job, like my side hustle. I do pizza delivery, so I'm getting those tips. Getting those tips goes right toward paying people for gas, for food, props. So it's a hustle, but I love doing it. I love the rush. I do a lot of projects. I do like 8 projects at once, and I love bouncing around. I'm like a workaholic, and I thrive on that. It's like crazy, Like I have the energy of a 20-year-old, and that's what helps. I'm 48, and it's like fuck. I love just hustling and bouncing back and but yeah, trying to ask for money. You get people that will just give you a thumbs up. Means like, okay, fuck you, I'm not gonna donate, but you have to keep trying. And I even tell like my wife or friends like, hey, I know you guys might feel weird asking for money. I'll do it. The only way we're gonna do is keep asking. And sometimes it seems like you're begging, but sometimes it's the only way, But
it's tough.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Well, yeah.
The industry should have been picking us up by now,
What's that?
Giving us a sitcom. The bigger, why not?
Yeah.
I know they see us, right?
Debbie, you missed it. Chris said he's been waiting 30 years for this role, and all of a sudden you froze, and we were laughing because we were like, oh, "Look, she's starstruck." She's like,
"My phone keeps overheating. I'm just on the phone right now, so it overheats.
Oh.
It kicked me off twice, and I haven't seen that in a while. Like emergency overheating.
Oh yeah.
So,
well, quick question for each of you: What are your Mount Rushmores of horror? What is your Mount Rushmore of horror? Huh?
The Exorcist. I need 2 more, right?
Mine is Halloween, the original Halloween.
Yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Exorcist, Halloween, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Shining's phenomenal.
Shining's,
yeah.
There's an Australian movie called Fright, Night of Terror. It's maybe like an hour long. It was actually made as like a pilot for a TV series, but they never did the series. You can find this online. You can find it on YouTube. Watch that. It is phenomenal. It's excellent. And basically there's like no spoken language during most of it. There's no dialogue, so anybody can understand it. It's just, it's great. I've been watching that a lot lately. It's like, I love this one.
Well, that was like me with Duel. That movie Duel, the original Steven Spielberg. I was amazed with that movie on how it was just one truck, one character, and how they kept your attention for 90 minutes on that. And I always like that in a movie when there's only very few characters and how they pull it off. And I always like to try to do that. But with Jacker, the characters.
Well, yeah. Well, sometimes some movies with less actors
everything's
is good.
going. Oh my! Looks like things are going to be overheating again. Oh geez.
You're making it hot.
I can't. It's going in and out. I'm not hearing you guys now.
Oh, you can't hear us?
It's in and out. In and out. The first time I ever got scared on that movie was The Exorcist and Jaws.
Yeah, I saw Exorcist once. That was good enough for me. And I saw it as an adult. That to me is still the scariest movie of all time.
Yes.
To me.
Yeah.
One of the scariest scenes in the movie is Exorcist 3. With the shear.
Oh, right.
Exorcist 3. Yeah,
check it out.
I never saw part 2.
Yeah, watch the TV series. That was actually pretty good.
I started watching the series, but I hear my there's a background.
I was a possessed homeless guy in the TV series, the first season.
Debbie.
Yeah, is that, are you hearing all that noise?
It's the Exorcist.
Oh, man. I don't know. This is not working right now. I hear.
Sounds like you're in a feedback loop.
It's not Debbie.
Make them. Did you hear it?
I hear a noise.
Yeah. Hang on.
Okay, it was Chris. It's Chris's phone.
Oh, okay. I thought.
Okay, yeah, there. Stop. Okay, it was Chris's. Sorry, Chris, I muted you.
No, I put it on mute. Yeah.
Oh, you put it. Okay, no, okay. So the
No, I muted it for see if it was me because somebody's got like a feedback loop going on where it picks up the sound and it just keeps doing it forever and ever and ever, like the Jacker movies.
Nice.
yeah,
I still think it has something to do with the Exorcist.
okay, so we're getting the feedback again. I don't know why. I think it's mine. Anything else you guys want to add before I let you guys go?
We just want to thank you for having us on, and we appreciate it. We appreciate anybody that helps in independent.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being on. Debbie, you want to say?
I like the idea of the sitcom. I think something new for us to do when we get more time. No.
We
want to stay under the radar.
Okay,
I just had to play that.
The echo. I don't know where the echo is coming from. Do you guys hear the echo?
Nope.
Sounds like we're all possessed.
Okay, it's from Chris's phone or Chris's mic. Okay, I just muted him. And yeah, it's coming. Sorry, Chris. Okay, so yeah, is he the first one to go in Jacker 3? Is he the first one eliminated in Jacker 3?
He is now.
You're gonna have to rewrite the script.
That's it. We're him.
Yeah.
Okay, so Debbie, you were saying you actually like the idea of not a sitcom, because sitcom is usually comedy. Yeah, and I know you guys don't do comedy, but what I meant was a series. Like I think a mini series would be great, but like you said, Phil, it's too much commitment, right?
Then you're gonna have to do like a weekly thing. It's bad enough doing the movies, but like with a sitcom, like let's say you got 10 episodes. 10 episodes, it's like 10 movies.
Well, a mini series, it's really three episodes, 4 episodes, maybe.
But look at like Shogun. I got scared when I watched that, thinking about how long it would take. They were like each 2 hours, those episodes. And I was like, imagine doing that on that caliber. I was like, I don't even want to do this.
No.
We want to think about it.
Is it because of the writing or the time? Because writing just flows. It just comes out of your mind and just keeps going.
It's not the writing,
like,
it's the actual the shooting of it. The shooting is time consuming. The preparation of the shoots and everything. It's easy to write, but well, for me it is.
Right? A lot of hands. Like we're so many hands, but we'll have a lot of help then. It's just like when you clean a house. If there's 4 people cleaning, you can get done in an hour what one person doing 3 hours. So if we had a lot more help and all we did was the writing and the acting and everybody was just all hands getting the props, I think we could do it.
I'll help out.
Put you in charge.
But we would have to get picked up. That's for sure. We did.
Hey, Derek, just imagine that, a sitcom now.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
James, would you direct it?
Was that?
Would you direct it? The sitcom?
Depends. Sci-fi action or just
A horror,
generic
a thriller, a psychological thriller.
Like a creep show.
Yeah.
If it had some supernatural stuff in it, I'd probably go for that.
All right.
I mean, I've
Anthologies are
done
like
series before. Like I got Mercs on there. That's like 5 episodes, and then I have 4 more in the can. So, yeah, I think it's doable. I mean,
yeah, but how many years have you been working?
It's not that good. What's that?
How many years have you been working on Mercs?
Mercs banged out pretty cool. As far as it went, I mean,
Chris is playing his guitar.
Yeah.
Chris,
play
do we give you another try?
Chris, play some
you
Dream
back on.
Theater. Play some Dream Theater, Chris.
Okay. Yeah, am I on? Oh, I want you in my life. I forgot the words. That's a Duffy song. Sing it, Duffy. I want you in my life. I don't know the words.
She froze again.
That's because she's terrified.
You keep freaking her out.
I thought she'd never shut up.
Hey, okay, so again, anything you guys want to add about the movie? Anything else? Any last comments? Any last words?
Look for us in the fall.
Yeah, very excited to be part of this. And thanks, JC. Thanks for doing this.
No, man. Yeah, it was my pleasure. It's an honor that you guys allowed me to be part of this. Also, I mean, it's to me, it's an honor. When I started doing this podcast, I started less than a year ago. I had no idea what I was gonna do. I said, you know what? I'm gonna start having some fun. I'm gonna start getting to know people in the different industries. And I've had filmmakers, I've had some actors, I've had some singers, some friends of mine. And I'm doing this for fun and to help. Hopefully, I don't have a lot of followers, but hopefully a few followers will help help gain more followers for you guys, So I'm doing it for fun, man, and this is fun, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time of being here with me.
We appreciate you. It was great. You were great.
Thank you.
I hope you guys we could do this again. I really hope we could do it again.
Surely.
We'll come back when we're all finished with the movie. We'll have horror stories.
Yeah.
All right. Guys, God bless you guys. Be safe.
You too, man.
And don't kill anybody for real, okay?
We'll try.
No.
And don't get arrested.
That's it.
No promises.
Thanks a lot, JC. You take
No
care.
promise.
You too.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
guys.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Thank you.